They approached me in the intermission and they said that I should be running for the local pageant. And how funny I was laughing and saying, girls, you're so cute. I don't do pageants at 44. Because I thought it was hilarious. I'm too old for that. It's not gonna happen.
Apparently not.
Apparently I'm not. And now I'm on the other side of that spectrum. I'm promoting that it doesn't matter what age you are. You can show the world that anything is possible.
Welcome, 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 Tetyana Golota.
That's right. Perfect, actually.
Really?
You said it perfect, yes.
Wow.
People think I'm Italian, so they say Golota. Like,
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, welcome. I hesitated there for a second. I'm like, uh-oh.
No, you said it right.
I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right.
No,
So
you
awesome.
said it right.
Awesome. Golota. So the Italian accent actually helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like Cavalli or something like that.
Well, you are Ms. Canada.
That's right.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
And being part of this series.
I am so very proud of what you're doing.
Oh, well, speaking of being proud, okay, I can't be prouder of you for all that you've been up to. And for the audience that doesn't know who you are, okay, so I'd like to share a bit about you.
Okay.
And we met a few years ago. I don't think you had even entered any pageants. No. It was just a few years ago, a couple of years ago.
Just networking, right?
Yeah.
Through the networking?
Yeah, just through networking. And oh my goodness, from the day I met you to where we are today, all the things you've done is absolutely, the word is insane. That most people would not even dream to do in a whole span of 10 years. So,
yeah.
So having just kind of given a little hint of this, can you just share with our audience a little bit about that you're Miss Canada and you're going into a next competition, which we'll talk about. But can you share, just tell us about you. Share, who is Tetyana Golota, Miss Canada?
So, as proud Canadian, I am an immigrant, like probably 70% of the Canadians. I was born in Ukraine. I'm 46 years old.
I'm proud of it.
Oh, very much so. It's the best age, I think, after 40, when you have enough brains to do what you want to do. I'm married. I have a child. My son is 22. We moved to Canada about 19 years ago. Follow my father and mom. My dad is a retired master mariner, so he came to Vancouver. He saw it and he said, "It's a beautiful city to live. Maybe we should think about it." So we thought about it and we moved. Our son at that time was about 3 years old. So we moved to Canada 19 years ago. And we started pretty much from scratch. So because to come to Canada, you have to have a university degree. But when you're coming to Canada, nobody really cares if you have that degree or not. So you have to start from scratch. And I went to the CIT. I took some courses while managing the building and cleaning houses for $5 an hour. So no shame in that.
No.
Any work. So I grew up in the printing industry because my mom back home, she worked there, and that's the reality I knew, and I absolutely love it. I love everything related to paper and ink and everything printing. So naturally, I went to college, and I went to college at the age of 14. And
That's pretty young.
Very young. My
Is that
parents
usual?
were petrified. It's kind of usual after grade 8, you can go to college and get a professional degree together with your high school diploma. So I did it, and I was accepted to college with no exams, nothing, because I think I was an honorary student. So I did that. My parents were petrified, but I graduated with honors, and I was taken to accepted to university as well. So that's when I graduated as well. That was 6 years of study, and I have a master's degree in engineering. So we came with all of those educations to here, and I here started from scratch. So I did like desktop publishing program at BCIT, started slowly in the industry, and I grew myself to position of planning and estimating for a multi-million-dollar company. And
can,
then,
can I hold back? Can I
yes,
hold you there for
there
a
is so
second?
much information.
Yeah, no, that's not, no. I just wanted to take a little moment to just find out more because I don't know about this. So when you, I mean, I knew that you have the, you know, the engineering degree and all. I know your story, but I just like to know more about when you came here and then you found out, or did you know it already before you came that it would be worth nothing, that you have to start from scratch?
Well, for me, it was, I knew that I have to start somewhere because I had no English. I did not speak English whatsoever.
But
My
did you know
husband
you would have
did,
to take school again?
of course, for the
for
English at least.
for the
So I
language, yeah.
went to the ESL school for a year or more than that, and I studied English. That was my main priority. And then I thought that maybe my education somehow will help me, but I applied and nothing really, because I didn't have a local experience. You don't have any paper like diploma or certificate from local university or colleges. So I kind of like figured it out really quickly that I need to do something to start somewhere. So I just took some of the program from my diploma that I translated and I submitted to BCIT. They were accepted, but not many of them. So I had to take courses to get certification. So that's how I started.
So continue on with your story. Sorry, I put you on pause.
I already forgot where I stopped.
Well, you were talking about the transition from coming and having to take the courses, and then you were working for this big company.
It was fun, and I worked for a big company, and I love every moment of it because I think I am professional in that field. I think I know a lot in the industry, and I'm probably one of the people, and I'm not bragging about it, I'm just being very honest, who work in the industry in such a different fields that it's not only offset, it's not only flexo, it's not one or another, all of them. So if I did estimating and planning, I understood the whole spectrum of the printing, wrapping of the vehicles. There is so much to it. I knew pretty much everything because I know the basics, and I started with the university and college. So I started way when linotype were there, which means there was no computer. You put letters together. That was really craftsmanship, right? I love that.
If you put one letter backwards,
oops. You have to redo the whole line or the whole page. Yeah, it was really nice to have that experience too, as your background, as your base. And I always speak about the base as well, how I grew up back in Ukraine. My parents educated people. My father, as I said, he's a master mariner. So diplomas like his is probably 6 in the world. He worked here in Vancouver on BC Ferry. He's retired now. My mom was in the same industry as me. And my mom also had a college degree. The same college, actually, we graduated from.
Wow.
Yeah. And some of her teachers were my teachers, which was very sweet. It was in another city. We live in Odessa, which is port in Black Sea. And the city I went to college is called Lvov. It's on the borderline of Poland and Czech Republic. And so my grandparents lived there. I was born there. So I grew up over the winter time and the summer vacation with grandparents. So I grew up in a village, in very, not secluded. It was very open to amazing opportunities because there was a highway to Czech Republic, all of those. It's a bigger village. It's not tiny, small village. It's like over 1,000 people. Everybody know it, but very small kind of a community. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody somehow related to everybody. My grandma was a seamstress, and she did, as I call it, village couture for people. So she would make you garment for your body, not for patterns that she had. And if she make you a dress, you will bring her milk for a month. So that was amazing barter back then.
Nice.
I grew up with those basics, understanding community, understanding the quality of handmade craftsmanship. And I grew up with all these Ukrainian traditions like cross-stitching and celebrations of family, all of those like basics, right? I go always back to basics. So when you have those basics, it's easier for you to blossom from that. And if you reach any goal, you can always go back to basics and it's not that painful. Because some people reach mountains and then they drop and they go to deep depressions because something is not as they used to.
But this gives you
a
solid
fundamental,
foundation.
like unbelievable fundament for just you will rise it back. It's not a big deal.
That's awesome. So Tell us the whole transition. So you were working for this big company, and then what happened?
Always wanted, because of relationship with this craftsmanship and stuff, I always was like a little bit creative. I did graphic design, I love interior design, everything in the moderation around the actual stable job that I have and experience and education in it. So that was good. But one day I wanted so badly to open my own consignment store and be part of this recycle process, I would say, because now I'm very passionate about it. I know the world is suffering because of this fast fashion and the rest of it. It's just not a very, very good thing. So I thought consignment store will help, and it will be a really nice little business. And working in the company and thinking about that, I had one very awful winter when I couldn't shake my cough off. Like I was coughing nonstop for about a month or 2 or 3, and then I was sent to do X-ray of my chest and nasal, and I received a phone call from my doctor saying that I should come and see her. And her face was very not happy because she knows me for many years, and she says, I'm afraid you have a brain tumor. And it's like receiving news that many people receive these days, that you have something devastating in your body that will kill you, right? Like cancers and things like that. So I took it as I don't know, as a very bad news, of course. And I did my research, and I almost was depressed because I was depressed. I was searching for results and things and related to it, and I thought I'm dying. We needed more tests, and
were you Googling?
Oh, Googling a lot.
Like
and my
Google,
husband is
Google
a nurse,
is the sentence stuff.
so
like,
he would come back from work, and he's like, close the computer. You're not dying. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
But you're Googling.
Yeah.
Because
you want to find the answer.
Yeah. And but over 1 year of not just research on myself, but doing all of those diagnoses with different doctors just to see if there is anything in my body extra. I was diagnosed with arthritis and fibromyalgia, which was like every part of me hurts, every joint and every bone of me hurts. And besides that, there was that beautiful cherry on the top. Over 1 year, the tumor grew double and need to be removed. And I went to see a few surgeons, and only one I chose was, I think he was just like in my brain, like you believe that person. And so we did the surgery, and I wake up, and before even going into surgery, like there are so many moments that are memory going back to. Before going into the surgery, this whole year changed my life already to that point, to soul searching, thinking, rethinking your life, what could be, what could happen. But I consider myself absolutely lucky, because it was not painful, nothing hurt in my head, I had no symptoms, but I was diagnosed on time when it started to just push my brain and could have been ruptured or damaged even more, and I could have died before even diagnosis. So I was lucky I had those diagnoses. And then we proceed with the whole surgery. And so my computer had a little scarf, like little, the whole head, drilling through the scalp. And they removed everything. They send it to a test, which is always the last kind of a result to see. Because doctors can tell you there's nothing, and then they send you for the lab, and something shows up. So it was clear. There was no cancer.
So it was benign.
I was just beyond myself.
But
before going into the surgery, I remember that moment when I see my husband's face was like white, and he doesn't know you're going to come out a cuckoo a little bit or something. It's your brain, right? They will touch 1 micron, could change stuff. Prognosis of the doctors were that I might lose my peripheral vision on the sides. I lost one on the top. So right now I don't see well. I don't see at all. It's like a baseball hat all the time. And my vision is also very tunnelish. My eyes getting very tired super quickly. So when I'm talking to you, I have to move them to the side just to relax the muscles. That's how I explain to people when they see me, they don't know. But when you talk to them and you explain what you're going through, it's just, oh my God, it's almost surprising to some. But at that moment, before the surgery, before I went to the room, I kind of decided to change my life. Kind of looking at my husband, and kind of looking at the movie of my life before they put mask on you and you fall asleep. I thought, you know, something needs to be different. Something needs to change. Something needs to be more, not that boring, not that crazy, and not that keeping up with Jonas, as I call. Because education is good. It's number one key. Believe me, I know it needs to be. Every person needs to be educated. 100%. Living the good life is a good thing too. It's just we live right now in a world where we're keeping up with something. The social media, the people, how they receive you, what they think about you. So we always were kind of the same. Oh, let's do the condo, let's buy this, let's do that, better car, better house, better this, and it just grew like a mountain. And all of this gives pressure on you, money-wise and responsibility-wise. But what's important is not that. Important is like wake up with your husband, make sure your kid is good, take him to school, make him sandwich, have nice conversation with your friends. Those like simplicity of life, going back to basics. What's the real truth, right? There is nothing wrong to want more. There is nothing wrong to wanted to have more money or more things. Money can buy you freedom, that's for sure. It's just there is no like rush to run and always catching up with something. You don't need to. In the end of your days, you're with yourself. And what's important is right here.
Yeah.
So nowadays I'm saying to everybody, whatever you see, taste, hear, smell, the connections you made, that's your treasures. This is what you will have in the end of your day. This is your colorful movie that you will see when your last moment will be on this earth. And I'm saying it in a very positive way. It's not like, oh my God, we're all gonna die. Yeah, it will happen, but live your life in a way that you enjoy it and you make beautiful connections with people that have some impact on your heart, on your soul. So that's my priority now. It took me a few years to kind of recover. Not really, I did not recover completely. It's not, let's not go there because, yeah, I was depressed after surgery. I wasn't depressed on medication and things like that for a couple of years. And then slowly, because I made decision to get my life together in a way of happiness. That's our choices, as we know, to choose the happiness.
Which is your theme.
It's my theme. It's happy lifestyle is my choice and happiness is my attitude. And I'm here to share it with the world. One person at a time, or like whatever can be done. And for me, it took me that many years, and I started to joining networking groups and meeting other women. I've not come across, but have this connection with Natasha Ray, who was the founder of She Talks, and she invited us to a small boardroom because she had an idea and she was very inspired by the TEDx talks. So she decided to do something for women, and that's how we created the She Talks. And now it's been almost 4 years, and I'm part of the team, and we're doing the radio show every Saturday on Roundhouse Radio, and we do events for International Women's Day to give platform for women to share their stories. And that's super passionate for me because I meet all of those women and they're all amazing. And every story has a meaning to it, and every story has an impact on you. And when person shares it with somebody, that they feel they're not alone either, right? So that's important as well. So I joined that, and because I was diagnosed with all of those things, beautiful things that happened to me, honestly. I live in pain every day. Every morning it's a struggle to waking up to this pain, honestly. But I chose happiness, and that's what I do. I am legally disabled, so I am not able to work full time, but I'm trying to do my best in the community by supporting charities, by attending events that I can attend. As my hobby, I created few things that were recycled couture, and I made them as art. So it's a mini version of couture dresses from recycled couture garments that no longer would be used by women or wear because they are out of style. But that's my contribution to the eco fashion. And then one of my friends, because we are supporting charity, one of my friends, she asked me, why don't you do those mini dresses in a larger size and do it as a fashion for local charity that we have here. It's called Help My City Alliance, and they create Little Black Dress Gala, so all upcoming emerging designers there can show their art. So one of the events I did that, and I create, with the help with the seamstress, I create small collection of the couture pieces and I showcase there. And then I did the Eco Fashion Week Vancouver, and to my surprise, there was a surprise happened. Then I also attended, because I love fashion so much, I attended Vancouver Fashion Week, and somehow I end up in a cast for models. So I walked the fashion week.
I remember that conversation.
Oh my God.
I remember before the modeling conversation, I think he had mentioned, as we were having dinner. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you're saying, oh, I would love to attend.
Yeah.
You just wanted to attend Fashion Week, and then 6 months later, you're walking on the road. I'm like, what?
How did that happen?
That was amazing.
So you see, like, for me, what I see right now, if you like look at my life in perspective, like what happened, it's because I made the choice of law of attraction, or people, whatever people call it. I live it intuitively, as people learn that by the books or some speaking or empowering or inspirational speakers. For me, intuitively was, what do I want in life, and this is what came to me. And I wanted good, so it came to me good. And I was invited, I think it was from the Facebook post, because I was friends on the Facebook, I think, or a following, Mary Zilba, he's former Real Housewife of Vancouver, and she invited friends because she was showing her designs at Vancouver Fashion Week, and she invited friends to be her guests, and I thanked her, and I attended the event, and I was sitting there in the front row because I was a guest, and I enjoy every moment of it. And since then I'm coming to every season to see new fashions. It was nice. And then one of the seasons, there was a Gatsby Lady London. She was focusing on designing dresses for the plus size women, and they did not have plus size models. So I received this little message. Also, I think on the Facebook. Facebook is awesome.
It's amazing how much business
connections.
Yeah.
They were saying something that they never cast for plus size models, and I said, well, I'm there. I wanted to come, and if you need me, I can help. That's all I said. I never modeled before. And so I show up for the casting, and they said yes, and somehow I become a model there.
Somehow, well, you put it
now
up.
I am.
Yeah.
Now I am, and I walked for Vancouver Fashion Week now, I believe, 4 seasons. Yes, and 3 times in a row we made it Vogue UK.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah,
that was
awesome.
awesome. Well. And with my eco fashion design that I show at the Eco Fashion Week Vancouver, I had my picture from the photographer and the little saying about my designs in the Vogue India, which was amazing too, right? And then it happened within 6 months. So
everything with you happens within 6 months.
It's just so fast.
Yeah.
That's how you make choices.
Yes.
And then at one of our She Talks, we had ladies from our provincial pageant sitting on the front row, and they were just getting inspired by speakers, and they approached me in the intermission, and they said that I should be running for the local pageant. And how funny I was laughing and saying, girls, you're so cute. I don't do pageants at 44, because I thought it was hilarious. I'm too old for that. It's not gonna happen.
Apparently not.
Apparently I'm not. And now I'm on the other side of that spectrum. I'm promoting that it doesn't matter what age you are. You can show the world that anything is possible. That's what it is. So
that's why you're here. That's why I invited you.
Yeah.
So you started with the first pageant.
our
share
provincial,
share the whole, because you've been crowned more than once. Okay.
yeah. So local pageant, we have a Miss and Miss, Miss Teen and Mrs. and now Miss Teen Junior, British Columbia. It's not just the pageant; it's a leadership program. This
Okay.
is what I love.
Mhm.
They do mentoring, they do workshops during 3 days that the pageant is running, and then
Are the workshops for the contestants?
yes,
Or-
for
okay.
contestants with
Okay.
amazing speakers, and they will do a class on etiquette, which is now lost because of the social media. And I'm not blaming social media; it's very good, but just people lost that contact, right? That personal touch to everything. That
So maybe you can
etiquette.
show us on social
There are
media and
certain
bring that
things.
back.
I might.
You
I'm
might
thinking
just,
about a lot of things right
yeah,
now.
I know.
So they do workshops on how to present yourself, how
Mhm.
to behave certain way. The public speaking with the microphone on the stage, they do classes on that. So it's nice for women to receive those.
Mhm.
I thought when I applied, because I talked to organizers, and I thought 3 days, I can give myself 3 days of workshops and leadership program. So I apply and
Mhm.
I attended, and I had very low expectations of anything, but I met those amazing women,
Mhm.
young girls, age from, I don't remember, like 16 to women in my chapter, which was Mrs.,
Mhm.
from around British Columbia. And now we have amazing friendship with all of them. It's just really, truly, honestly, very, very good program. And in the end of this whole 3 days, I was crowned as Mrs. British Columbia, and to my surprise, it was kind of like, oh my God. So if somebody sees something in you that you might not see,
Mhm.
that's nice to have, then you will realize the same thing
Mhm. To be
later on.
acknowledged.
Yeah.
To be acknowledged and then recognized.
Yeah.
For
In a way of not like self ego, not in that
Yeah,
way. In
yeah,
the
yeah.
way, oh, I didn't see this in me,
Mhm.
but they show me I
Mhm.
can. So
Mhm.
maybe I can.
Yeah.
So
So there's no
then
maybe.
there is no maybe
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
And from that point, because you are already kind of exposed to the pageant world, which for
Mhm.
me was before more of a young women, Miss, you see Miss Universe, you see Miss World, all of those beautiful pageants and beautiful ladies. For me right now, it's more of a meaning of who you are, not
Mhm.
how you look and all of this stuff, right? Not just the crown, not just the dresses and how beautiful you're on the stage. It's more what you bring to the table, which provincial pageants show us. That's exactly what it is. They look at somebody who has a what's the word for it? Like not a full package, but more of a substance.
Mhm.
That substance can create something good.
Mhm.
So for me, that was a good base and good start. And then I came across Miss Globe organization, and I was Mrs. Mrs. Globe organization. I'm sorry, and they had a competition in Regina back in March. So I applied and I presented British Columbia there as Mrs. British Columbia Globe for the competition that was for the crowning for Mrs. Canada Globe.
Mhm.
I did not win that competition, but I was already talking with Mrs. Universal, and when I came back from that competition, I already had the title of Miss Canada Universal Elegance, which means the elegance means 45 plus, which means I will compete with women my age, which I think it's amazing because you can compete with somebody who is more like younger than you. You can, but it's not almost not fair.
It's not fair to
Yeah,
either.
it's not fair
Yeah.
to them
Yeah.
because of how much I know,
Mhm.
and it's not fair to me because I don't look like that anymore. So there is a fine
Yeah.
balance. It's good to have
Yeah.
your own chapter, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Your own category.
So right now I am Miss Canada Universal
And you're
Elegance,
going into next week. You're going into.
and I'm going in a few days to London, England for Miss Universal finals, and I'm super excited to meet women from around the world.
Yeah.
And it's not about the crown, believe me.
How
I
many
have
people are going to
nothing
be
to
there?
do.
Do you know?
Around 40 contestants.
Wow.
That's the number. So we'll see all of them.
That is
I'm almost ready.
That is fantastic.
Almost ready.
How long is the competition?
1 week.
1 week.
hmm
Wow.
1 week, including all the tours of London and time together, so we can get to know each other. And there is interviews for the day off. We have judges, of course. There's interview. There is a costume competition. There is a sportswear competition, and there's the evening gown competition.
That's fantastic.
And some people are asking me about the costume or the evening gowns, and I can tell you just one thing, that because I'm so in love with the fashion,
Yeah.
I made my own costume.
Nice.
I designed my own evening gown, and one of the local designers, couturier, she helped me to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because my hands with arthritis, it's very.
Can you tell us the color of the gown?
Oh, the gown. I think some people already. No, didn't see it.
Is it a secret?
No, it's not
Okay.
a secret. I incorporated because I am Canadian, because I'm so passionate about this country. I created. I don't know when you will podcast that, but it probably will be after. So I can say. So my costume is a white gown with maple leaves and Swarovski crystals.
Ooh, sparkles have to be there.
Yes. The gown has a meaning. I put 13 maple leaves on it, representing all of the provinces and territories. And I put 150 crystals for 150th anniversary of Canada. I know, I'm not gonna cry. So it's little like, this is what I want to represent. But my evening gown, because there is not much blue in my costume, my evening gown represents all the oceans around Canada. So it's very blue, greenish, and
very
see-through, very watery. It is patriotic, but it's also like I have goosebumps. Look at this.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Just because, like, you're representing the country. And for the girl who immigrated to this country at the age of 20, what was I, 27-ish? Now you're at 46 and you're representing country in the world finals. Come on. I am very proud.
You should so be. And
So
not
very
only
proud.
proud, but you're so inspiring.
Thank you.
And it shows how you can start at any age. You can.
Yes, you can.
Do, you know, it's like in our
Yes,
age
you
range, most people say, "Oh, pageants are for young people."
Yeah.
But here you are with all these crowns going for one more crown. That is so inspiring.
Thank you.
That's so inspiring. Your story, your choice of happiness, you know, choosing to be happy in spite of the pain, in spite of what happened to you. Some people dwell in the past, you know, they go, poor me, poor me, poor me, or like they fall into victim of themselves and find excuses. But you're so opposite of that, and that is why I wanted you. Another reason why I wanted you to be part of the series, because I think everyone needs to be inspired by you. I think every woman, young, and look up to you know, as we get older, to look up at the people who have been ahead of you, have more experience, and they've gone through stuff, and did not let that stop them from living fully, enjoying life, and pushing through it. And that's what you've done. That's what you're doing.
I'm still trying. Yes, I'm trying.
And it's just so fun to follow you on Instagram. You're on Instagram. So what's your Instagram account so people can see what you're up to and follow you there?
My first name and last name. So at Tetyana Golota.
Okay, well we'll have a link for that so that people can follow you there, because it is fun to see your photos.
Just I will not post anything. Sometimes I will post saying like, hey, arthritis sucks. This is reality.
But you know what? That is inspiring.
But
too.
I'm trying to post something like, hey, I have this, but I do it.
Yeah.
So pretty much, just kind of like, we all go through things.
It makes it real.
Yes.
I think it makes it real, and that's what I love about you. You don't put on a front. That's you're it. What you see is what you get. What you say is it. And I had, you know, you were a guest at my conference, the Magnificent Women's Conference, and you have no idea. I don't know. I'm sure you had a lot of people come up to you afterwards, but you have no idea because I never really followed up to tell you this. How many people told me how much they enjoyed your candidness, and you were just
Oh, really?
you just they were like,
Thank
oh my
you.
goodness, she was just so open. There was no, yes, she is Mrs. At the time you were Mrs. BC.
Yeah.
And they felt like that was not oh, I'm Mrs. BC,
Oh,
and there you
no.
are, because that's a typical impression that most people get from, you know, a pageant winner or even just a contestant, because it is so revolved around the appearance,
image, yeah.
the image and the appearance, that most people don't get past that.
Yeah.
And with you, they saw a whole other, you know, you show them, no, it's not just about this. There's just so much more. And you were so candid about everything, sharing a story, which you did share something in this interview, which I kind of like to share. I like you to share the story, how you actually, you played a joke on your husband when you came back from the, from the surgery.
I just
thought that was so funny. Yeah.
A few years before I got diagnosed, I had this, like, my husband likes workouts and bodybuilding and all of this, and he came across this beautiful actor, and he said, like, the guy came up with the book now and he looks amazing, all shredded, like, you know. When he showed me the picture of the guy and I look at my husband, I was just like, oh my God, same kind of like a feature, the hair features, like the beard and everything. And then I look at the guy more, I'm like, he's super handsome. So I had this, you know, you have a movie star crushes. So I had a crush on Joe Manganiello. He's married now to Sofia Vergara. That's all good. Love them both. But my husband showed me that, and we were always laughing, saying something about, oh, Joe would say this or Joe would do that. So after I wake up after surgery, and he came to the room, and
what were you wearing?
What I was wearing?
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Share what you were wearing, because
my lovely surgeon, the neurosurgeon, he did such a good job on my hair. He just shaved a little bit, just enough for him to do stitches, but the rest of the hair will braided and sticking out like ponytails,
like Cyndi Lauper, sort of.
Just crazy. And I just colored my hair. They were just blonde. So I did that, and then they use a chemical solution, which is pink.
Iodine, yeah.
So that dye was all over me a little bit in that area. I was very sensitive to my eyes, so I was wearing sunglasses. I had pink slippers, pink hair, and leopard coat. I look like a movie star. And then my husband comes into the room, just checking on me, how am I doing, kind of the first impression, worrying that maybe I lost something. And I look at him and I thought I'm going to make a joke, and I said, hello, who are you? And he lost it right there, just kind of like, okay.
Poor guy.
I don't know what happened. And I'm like, where is my, like, who are you again? And I said, and where is Joe? Then he starts laughing, because we were like, my husband kind of a thing. No, it was really, really funny. And then he starts laughing. He's like, yeah, you have your sense of humor. That's good. They did a good job on your brain then. Some days right now, because I'm so 300, not 300 degree, but a speed of a comet, I would say. He says, like, yeah, they touch something in your brain that never been there before, maybe.
Do you feel that maybe something, that there was a change, like in a positive way? Like, besides your mind shift, do you think something happened, or do you feel like the surgery didn't touch anything?
Oh no, surgery touched the vision and like those side effects for sure. I have a little bit problem with the memory too. Okay. I struggle with that every day too. But it's just very bad with the I'm not sharing that very often, but sometimes I do not remember faces and names together.
Oh, well, welcome to my world. Oh, I didn't need surgery for that.
I blame it now on the old age.
Well,
not really.
It could be, but it's not.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like there are certain symptoms and certain things that were not there before. But it's okay. I'm alive. That's the main thing, right?
Of course.
That's all. Anything that is painful or this, it makes me feel like, yeah, pain here, I'm alive.
But you're more motivated.
Yeah.
You're like you said, you extract the juice out of every minute of
You have
or-
to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Some people even they complain about small things. Small things. Oh my God, the parking here, traffic there.
Meaningless
It's
things.
So not
Meaningless things.
absolutely
Meaningless things. Tetyana, it's been a pure joy to have you here.
nice. Thank
So
you.
Thank you for coming. Can you show us your crown? Put your crown on for everyone.
I will put my crown.
It's so
on.
beautiful.
It's
And
not
it goes with
staying
your
well.
dress.
I
Oh,
love blue.
Love it. And it
It's
goes,
very princessy.
yes, and it goes with your eyes too.
Thank
It
you.
is beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I wish you the best in
Thank
the
you so much.
competition coming up,
Thank you.
and I can't wait to hear how it goes. Whether you get the crown or not, in my eyes, you already have the crown
Thank you.
because you're amazing representative, not only for Canadians but for all women in general, anywhere. So
Thank you.
thank you for doing this
Ah.
and for being you.
Thanks for having me.
Wanna say bye? Bye.
Do this.
Oh, this. Oh, yes, of course. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, kind of like so.
So is
I
that how
don't
you-
know. It's the
There we go.
queens do that, not really pageant one.
Oh, you just tricked me. Okay.
It's
So,
all
can I
good.
do this? All right. So that's it for today.